What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video on Saturday. We're going to talk about another free agent for y'all today, Danilo Gallinari, a guy that a lot of people heard and seen in a lot of trade rumors before the season ended and before the trade deadline was over, as he was on an inspiring contract this season and he was going to be able to be a free agent, but he was shooting the lights out, having a great season, stayed healthy for the last 2 years, and really, changed the narrative of his own game this season. And a lot of it had to do with Billy Donovan allowing him to play his game and allowing him to do what he does best, which is shoot the ball and handle it a little bit. A lot of it had to do with the structure and the personnel that they had on the Oklahoma City Thunder. But now that we know that the Thunder is most likely going to go in a rebuilding direction, which they should, they have a buttload of picks. They have some interesting young players, and they can get value from guys like Chris Paul, possibly giving them another pick or another young piece that they can add to this team. But they also have guys like Steven Adams, whose contract is almost up too, that they can flip and probably get another asset for possibly in the future. But one thing they can do is let Danilo Gallinari walk, and then they get the cap space and they can use it on somebody else in the future or somebody that they're interested in that they want to invest in now in this current free agency that will be coming up in a couple weeks. But I'm going to tell you 5 teams that Danilo Gallinari should be interested in, and the team should be interested in him because they can use his service. But this is not in any order. This is not in a priority order. This is just what I feel that the team that he can bring his talents to and can really help them become better or fill a need that they don't have that they might need or shown that they need, and Gallinari can fill that. So one right now is the Memphis Grizzlies. They tried to get Anthony Tolliver and other guys to replace Jaren Jackson. Danilo Gallinari is nowhere near the defender that Jaren Jackson is, nor the athlete. But one thing Jaren Jackson helped John Morant and guys like Jonas Valanciunas with was shooting. And Danilo Gallinari is a guy that you don't have to rely a lot on, and you don't really need as much in Memphis. But one thing I would say about Danilo Gallinari is he really a starter nowadays. We've seen what he did against the Rockets, and he didn't play that well. When the game slowed down and guys play man-to-man and one-on-one, he couldn't really play his game the way he did in the regular season as they planned and game plan for him because they had to play the same team over and over. And Memphis missed a lot of shooting, and especially from the three-point line once Jaren Jackson went down. The biggest problem is he went down the last 2 seasons and missed multiple games, a lot of games. And if they're going to lose that type of quality, they need somebody that can come in and fill some of his role. And I think Danilo Gallinari can be that guy that plays well with the roster, plays well with Ja Morant, can play in the pick and roll, can play at the three-point line, and also can make plays from time to time and knock down shots whenever nobody's paying attention to him. And that will help a team like the Memphis Grizzlies a lot. And I don't really see this being a bad move for them. I don't know if they would do it, but they should do it if they want to be able to stay competitive if they lose Jaren Jackson to minor or a semi-major injury like they did the last 2 years. Look at it as an insurance policy. A guy that can come in, get the job done, not mope, not be whiny, and you get somebody that can still add some flair that the other guys that they try to replace him with in the bubble could not do. And I think Gallo can fit in and do that a lot and possibly be one of the best six-mans in the league. The Timberwolves, I know people say they got Wancho. Well, he doesn't want to be there. And even if they do keep him, Danilo is probably significantly better if they can't get a power forward in the draft if they trade down or get another piece. Danilo will give them that three-point shot, and the same thing he will give all these teams is his game. And they don't need to rely on him a lot because they do have D'Angelo Russell, they have Malik Beasley, and they have Karl Anthony Towns to score and really ugly up the game to get him easier shots because they can pass it, kick it out to him, and he will be a threat and a guy that has gravity and will keep you on him. If you don't, he's going to torch you and make you pay, and that will make the job easier for guys like D'Angelo Russell and Towns that like to play in the pick and roll and play in the post and play on the perimeter. If they break down the defense or get double teamed or trapped, they always have Gallinari there, which means he's going to splash it from long distance, mid range, or even put it on the floor and get a layup or a dunk because the lane to be wide open if you put them all on the perimeter, which Towns is a stretch. Same with D'Angelo can shoot threes. Same with Malik Beasley. And if you get what I'm saying, that would be something that would be very interesting for a team like the Wolves to have if they don't have to overpay for him, which they might because they the Timberwolves, but he still would be something that can really fix a lot of the problems that they might have, and it might not cost them a whole lot of money to get a guy like him. The Utah Jazz, and a lot of people wouldn't see this coming, but Utah had struggles replacing the shooting that Bog had gave them once he got the wrist surgery. And that's something that they never recovered from. Even though they did go up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets, they still didn't win. And a lot of it was they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough shot creation. They didn't have enough scoring. They didn't have enough shooting to get them over that hump against Denver. They played good enough, but even then they were lost in the second round, in personal opinion, to the Lakers if they was healthy. And this is something they've been trying to figure out. That's why they got Mike Conley. That's why they got Bogdanovich. And now they're in a situation where teams have gotten better and they haven't got significantly better, which means either they're going to have to make some changes to the roster or they're going to have to find somebody that can come in and fill multiple roles. And I think that bringing Danilo Gallinari off the bench answered those problems. And if you can get him for the right price, he might be the piece that can get you further in the playoffs because Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley can do so much creating, and also they can play in the pick and roll. And you also do have Gobert that can set screens and do dribble handoffs, which can make the job a lot easier for a guy like Gallinari, who is primarily a great shooter. And I think that that will really help them offensively. It won't help them defensively, but it'll give them a little bit more of a punch and a little bit more depth. But can they afford it? That's going to be the biggest question. They're going to have to either trade somebody to get them, and then the question will be, will that be enough? But one thing I will say is it will help them, and that's why I can see them possibly going to Utah. The Dallas Mavericks. This is one of the hottest teams this summer and through the fall as they're trying to get over the hump and become a championship team in the West. And even though they've been linked to other stars throughout this whole off season, and so far they haven't had a legitimate rumor that this was going to happen, but they still looking for a way to bolster this roster and make it even more competitive so that they can finally win the title back in Dallas and try to win one for the first time for Luka. And one of their biggest problems was replacing the bigs. They had problems replacing Kristaps Porzingis. They had problems replacing Powell. And now they have a guy like Porzingis that can play that center position from time to time, but they also just need a little bit more space. They was one of the best scoring teams, one of the more unstoppable teams in the entire league. And I think the Gallinari will only help that and give them more versatility, give them another dynamic, and give them another shooter that will allow Porzingis to stay in the perimeter and open up the floor for Doncic to be able to probe, find shooters, and get to the basket and the free throw line. But it also will allow Porzingis to play center, and you won't have to give up much in size because we know how big and tall Gallinari is. Plus, he adds to the weapon of being a shooter and a guy that can put the ball on the floor and create from time to time, which will make them even more harder to defend. The problem will be if they get the third star, will they be able to afford a guy like Gallinari without having to cut major players? And if they do, will Gallinari be enough for them to get over the top if they do get that third star? But if they don't get that third star, will they be good enough to be a contender with Gallinari as the next piece? That will be the question for them. And number one is Miami. Obviously, I picked Miami because they was interested in him all along. And he is a guy that is better than the Kelly Olynyk and guys like that they play already. But the problem with them would be after they sign their agents, free agents, will they want to invest more money in a guy like Gallinari who didn't play well in the playoffs and might be wanting 10 plus million to come onto the team? Do you really want to invest that and mess up the cap space for next season once it's over and that free agency period come and you committed the money to Gallinari? Will you want to sign him long term? And if you don't want to sign him long term, do you even want to sign a short term deal with a team like Miami that's going to be replacing him anyway if they can get a superstar free agent to go with Jimmy Butler and Bam, who they also have to pay this summer because Adebayo is coming up. And even if they pay him next summer, his contract will be up and he can become a free agent. So they got some tough decisions to make in Miami, but they still is in the right direction, and they still have a great core. And adding Gallinari will only help them, but at the same time, the cost will be flexibility or even just a rental. But will Gallinari want that at his age and his injury history? Will he want the 2 to 3 years, or will he take the 1 year deal with Miami for a big salary and come back off the books, or will he want more of a commitment? That's my five. Let me know if I missed a team. Let me know if a team that you know he should go to. Do you think that these teams will be better with Gallinari? Do you think they'd be worse? Do you think they don't need him? Whatever you feel about that, let me know in the comment section below. Also, check out my website, analysisplayground.com, link in the description comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com, link in the description comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that liked on Facebook already. Also, check out my spread shirt. There you can find merchandise, a variety of it on my channel, on the spread shirt. You can also find that in the description and in the comment section below if you want to support the channel. You can also buy merchandise on my Facebook page. I got hats, I got shirts. You can change the color of the shirt, change the color of the logo, get it to anyone that you like. And that's a small thing you guys can do to help. Another small thing you guys can do to help the channel is liking the video, subscribing, and also commenting to keep the energy going for me to keep making videos. But not only that, it will help if you watch my older videos. I have over 1,000, almost 2,000 videos on my channel. And honestly, if you like this and you like those, why not subscribe? But I do bring to the table breakdowns of players, legends, rookies, and even summer league breakdowns and coverage, NBA draft coverage, free agency, trade deadline discussions, just like this, playoff predictions, season previews, and everything that you need. But the best part, I make a video each and every day. So if you love basketball, you need variety of topics, you need interesting content, this is the channel for you, I promise you. And if you don't believe me, check out the older videos. And if you like this, like that, subscribe. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'll be coming to older video Sunday. I'm gone.